Hey friends, I'm Angie. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm thrifting a few pieces and then styling everything at home into a simple vignette that feels warm, layered, and timeless. So without further ado, let's head to the thrift store and see what we can find. I always check the frame section at the thrift store because you never know what you're going to find. And as I was browsing, I found this large gold frame with the green mat. Now, this has so many possibilities and it could be so beautiful, but I'm trying to be more selective of the things that I bring home. And if I cannot think of a space that it can work in, I usually leave it behind because, let's face it, we only have so much room in our house and we can easily become hoarders. This was $15 and I left it behind even though I'm regretting it somewhat now. Now we're in the kitchen section, and I recently had someone mention to me that she did not like to shop in the kitchen section of the thrift store because adding food to thrifted vessels just grossed her out. So I challenge you to shop in the kitchen section, but use these vessels in your garden instead. There are so many possibilities, and it is so fun to use your imagination with these vessels in a different way. And then I find myself in the book section, and y'all know how much I love my vintage books. I use them all over our home for so many different things. This set is absolutely stunning. And I think that you could purchase these and have an instant collection if you like that old English library look. Ralph Lauren, they're leather, they have so many different colors, and they would just look beautiful in a built-in or anywhere in your home. I think these were $2 each, and I really struggled with should I bring them home or should I leave them? So you'll have to wait till the end of the video to see if I brought them home. I just recently discovered this section at the Restore with all of this hardware. Now, I love to pick these up to use on different furniture that I've refinished, but there are so many uses for these little knobs that you can use not only as hardware. So I like to check this section to see what I can find. And then I found this box that was very interesting to me. I like the shape of it and the color. It was extremely heavy, like it was made out of some kind of steel. I don't know what I would use this for. Probably put it somewhere that I didn't have to move it very often. But I thought it was an interesting shape and just an interesting little object. And then I found this wooden box. Now, I am a sucker for wooden boxes, and this one has a scene on the top of it. I don't know how old it is, but it appears to be older, and it just needs a little TLC to bring it back to its original glory. It was $5, but it was in great shape, and it had so many different details, and it was just so beautiful to me. Now we're at another thrift store, and I like to check the clothing section. Now I'm not looking at these for something to wear, but I'm looking at them for the material that I can use to turn into something else. Now the men's section has so many shirts and patterns and prints that I absolutely love that work great in our home. So I'm just going through and seeing if I can find any interesting patterns that I can use to turn into something else in our home. And I did find a few, so you'll have to stay tuned in a later video to see how I use these. And then I found this collection of plates, and just hear me out on this because I think this would be such a fun idea to go on a hunt for these plates from the states that you have visited and add them to a plate wall in a room where you can add lots of different color, and then collect the plates from the places that you have visited and add those in a plate wall together. It would be so fun. It would be such a fun conversation piece. And just think of the memories when you look at this plate wall. Such a fun idea to me. I thought this vase had a beautiful shape to it. I would paint it and add some spring florals to it to add to our home. But the thrift store has so many options for different things you could use as vases for cut flowers or plants. And I also like to check out this section. Okay, y'all, help me out on this one. And the only reason I recorded this section of the video is so I could ask y'all what y'all would do with these jars. There were so many of them, and they look like the jars that hold the cheese at the pizza restaurant. But there's got to be another use for these that you could use in the garden or somewhere in your home. So help me out with that, please. These glasses are timeless, and I have a set of these, and I used one in last week's video where I added our bamboo flatware, and I love the look of these, and they never go out of style. They have so many fun options at the thrift store. This Coca-Cola glass would be fun to add a root beer float to for the summertime, but they had so many fun options if you are in the market for new glassware for your kitchen. And then if I have time that day, I will go around and check the shelves again to make sure nobody has changed their mind on anything and put something back, or if one of the employees has brought out a new cart. I thought these bird prints would be pretty framed and added to a little girl's room or a bathroom space. And then I just make sure that I haven't just overlooked something. As I'm videoing, sometimes I don't see things the first time, and so I'll go back and recheck. I think these were pretty. They would be really pretty on a coffee table as coasters to add a little bit of shine to a space. And a lot of this was just stuff that was either broken or it just was not my style. And I like to check out the shelves and the things available for outdoor spaces. And then I always, always, always check out the books because I am on the hunt for more vintage books and coffee table books. You can get them for a really good price at the thrift store. And you could also find something to read, which I very seldom read the books that I buy from the thrift store. I use them for color and risers and just for decoration purposes usually. But I love these Reader's Digest type books with the beautiful covers. I just removed the dust cover, and they're just fun to look at to see what I can find, and sometimes I find some real treasures. This was a fun find, and it has that cottagecore look if that's what you're going for. This doesn't necessarily match our space, but I thought it would be pretty adding your fresh produce or items in your kitchen added to a countertop to give you more personality in that space and a lot more space on your countertops. Now let's head home and work on our thrifted and styled vignette. So I came home with this book with a gold cover, black spine with gold writing. I think this is a beautiful thrifted item that can be styled in a vignette. So we're going to add that. I also picked up this worn black Bible. I do collect vintage Bibles, and this one was a perfect addition to my collection. So we're gonna style that in a vignette. And then I did pick up this beautiful wooden box. I couldn't resist it, but it needs to be cleaned up and polished a little bit before we style it in a vignette. So let's do that next and get it looking great for a styled vignette. If you like this type of content, please give it a thumbs up. It helps out our channel so much. And I look forward to seeing all of y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.